Hi guys, EBPMAN with Tablets for Me, and today we're going to do an unboxing review of a new camera available now by Foscam, and this is the outdoor 1080p wireless camera model F19900P. Let's take a look inside. Now, like all Foscam cameras, their complete family of products features a very simple setup process, which I'll show you in a couple minutes. But for now, let's go ahead and focus on some of the features of this specific camera. You'll find that this camera is an HD camera, capable of 1920 by 1080 resolution. It does have two-way audio, and you can see that there. Features night vision up to 65 feet. It is also also has motion detection, and then is also supported by a free app, and also you can subscribe to a cloud service if that's something that you choose to do. Now inside the box you'll have your camera, you'll have a Ethernet cable, some mounting screws that you'll be able to use to mount the actual camera, the power adapter for the camera, and then you'll have miscellaneous information including a CD, client satisfaction information or material, as well as a user guide. Now, taking a closer look at the camera, you'll find that you have an adjustable arm, and the adjustable arm can be locked in place with the included Allen key that is in the box. You'll notice that you have a series of cables that are coming out that give you a lot of flexibility, and we'll take a look at that before we focus on the camera. You have an Ethernet cable, you have audio and video output jacks here, or actually audio in and audio out. Okay, you also have your power cord, and then you have a reset switch. Focusing on the camera now, the camera has a antenna that can be connected here. All you have to do is screw that on. And then at the very front, you'll notice all of the IR LEDs here, as well as the camera itself. Everything nicely enclosed. On the very bottom, this is the how you would configure your camera, simply by putting your camera over this QR code, and then you'll be able to configure the camera. Pretty much there isn't anything else much to the camera, because everything is self-contained, and depending on your use you may or may not use all of these cables. So let's take a look at setting this up and seeing what kind of image we get out of it. As you can see here, I already installed the Foscam software on my iPhone, and I've already established an account. As a matter of fact, I have already one Foscam camera. So all I'm going to do is choose Add another camera, and I'm going to scan the QR code. So I'm just going to put it right over the camera so it can scan the QR code, and once it's scanned it, now all I have to do is configure all the information. Put in my Wi-Fi password, as you can see right there, and then we'll move from there. Now once you've inputted your Wi-Fi password, the system is going to go through an initial setup. So it's going to configure the actual camera, it's going to associate it with your access point, and then go through all the process of installing it. What you also find that at times, if there's a firmware update, it'll also give you an opportunity to update the firmware. So we're going to let it go through this process before we actually get things going. So the first thing I wanted to do is give you a sample of what a normal video shot would look like in the room. As you can tell, there's not a lot of lighting in the room, so what we'll do now is we'll switch over to the camera to see the difference between, just a standard camera and then the actual Foscam camera. So now that you've seen what the light in the room looks like, you can see that with this camera it is really doing a fine job of bringing out the limited light that's in the room and highlighting all of the detail that's in there. Now if you take the phone and you flip it over like this, you'll get a magnified view. Keep in mind there are no lights in the room. There's some ambient light coming in through the blinds, and you saw at that previous shot what it was like taking a video in that room without this camera, the security camera, the Foscam camera, actually giving us a video feed. Now there's a couple features that I just want to show you and talk about. So what we'll do is we'll zoom in here so we can look at some of the controls that are here on the bottom. And there is a software application that you can use that has many more features than this does, but I wanted to just show you what most of us will be using. I find myself looking at the cameras more through my phone than I do through a desktop, or for example if you're using a tablet. So you have a couple things. You have the ability to take a picture, you have the ability to record, you also have the ability to adjust, go into night vision. Now keep in mind there's the room is very dim, so what I could do is I could go into night vision, turn that on, and what it will do is it will change the color, because obviously now it's taking advantage of the night vision capability, and you can see how a different amount of detail is actually coming in by using that. So it really brings out more detail if you choose that feature. You could also have it on to auto, which is what I think most of us would do. So I'll just switch that back, turn that off, and you'll notice that the camera will readjust, and I'll close that. You do have the ability to adjust, especially if you see any kind of movement in the room and it's kind of sluggish. You could adjust the HD settings by lowering it, but you will lose quality. I haven't found the need to actually do that. And then you have the ability to actually rotate or adjust depending on how you have mounted your camera. So all in all, those are the features that you would see with the actual camera as you're looking at it from a phone. So this concludes our review of the Foscam F19900P outdoor 1080p wireless camera. I want to thank Foscam for making this product available to us on this channel. I want to thank you also for viewing. If you have any comments or questions about the camera, please leave it on the YouTube channel. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Thanks for watching.